What's up, everybody? It's Marcus D'Angelo, and we are back for another episode of the Hacksaw Hour. And, of course, I'm joined by WWE Hall of Famer, the legendary Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Jim, before we get into it, I have to tell you something real quick, dude. You ready for this?
Brother.
Oh! I remember this time, pal.
All right, baby, but you know it's the holidays. Everybody's in the Christmas spirit. So it's a ho, ho, ho! Even the board is in the holiday spirit. I like to give a few presents with it, I'll tell you, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. You know, you sent me, or you put some videos up on social media of you dressed as Santa Claus for Cameo, and let me tell you, my daughter Piper, she popped big time. When she
I got one for me too. Are you kidding? I enjoy Christmas. I think when you're young and when you're old, you enjoy Christmas, brother. I mean, you really appreciate them. Families getting together. And I was telling you, this Thanksgiving, our daughters, Celia and Rebecca, they came up from Florida. We're able to spend the time up here. Deborah made a big turkey, had her the best in the state pecan pie. So we had a nice, real nice Thanksgiving.
Man, unbelievable. So cool to hear that you had the whole family gathered up there in Lugoff. And folks, you can kind of follow along. Jim does a lot of posting about his personal life and the family and his beautiful home and property.
Well, yeah, usually I'm upstairs, Marcus. My daughter set that room up, put all the merchandise and all the old pictures and stuff. It's like a shrine up there, you know. At least it's upstairs and hidden. Sometimes you go into a guy's house, you know, as soon as you walk in the door, there's belts, there's pictures, there's trophies. I'm like, hey, okay, brother, anything else going on in your life? But so we're downstairs because we got the Christmas tree. Let me show you real quick, brother.
Oh yeah, let's have a look.
We got the Christmas tree. Look, drop the board.
Oh, not the board. He looks amazing though.
Yeah, Deborah's got the whole upstairs.
Look at that.
Yeah, with mechanical stuff. Of course, our big giant tree.
I'm going to do a close-up of you here, Jim, so we can have a better look. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's quite a tree. Get the step ladder. Celia and Rebecca, even the stairs are decorated. But, yeah, always get in the Christmas spirit. You know, and that's what brought that guy years ago. We had that home intruder. See, this is our front door.
Yep.
But back then I had my 44. Now I just keep my 9 here, just in case, you know. But I got so much publicity. You remember the guy broke in the house.
Yeah.
I got so much international publicity. Brian Knobs calls me the Nasty Boys. He's like, Duggan, how much you pay that guy to break in your house? You can't buy that publicity.
Man, people are still bringing it up 2 years later now, isn't it? I think it was 2 years ago. Maybe a little longer, actually.
Because we live out in the country. The house is all decorated just for me and Deborah because the girls are gone. Deborah likes to decorate. Very few people come down our dirt road. So to have somebody, you know, we got gates and cameras and everything. If anybody just comes to the gate is a big deal. I mean, to get over the gate, over the fence, and into the house, yeah, it was kind of exciting, to say the least. But I did get some great press out of it. I'm shooting over in Germany and over in Scotland talking about it, man. I got some great press out of it.
Do not show up at old Santa Saw's house unannounced, pal.
Because, you know, I keep the gun. We got the chickens and stuff running around, you know. And sometimes that fox gets out there. And I just cap one off to run the fox off. And but that time I had that 44, so I had it on the guy. I'm like, don't move.
Would put a hell of a hole in the guy, and probably
never in my life. You know, a lot of people, soldiers, cops. I mean, that actually held a gun on somebody and say, "Don't move, or I'll shoot you." And mean it, because I was too old to fight anybody. I didn't know who this man was breaking into my house. I mean, it was a moment in life I'll remember. Yeah.
Pretty frightening. And you did actually, you got the better of him physically, though, right? You pinned him down.
Yeah. I had a little flash. When he came in, there's a little bit of a step. So, boom, he fell down. So, as I came around the corner, he was on his knees. I was like, hey.
That helps.
I caught him right by the neck. We went right back out the door and banging him on the thing. Yeah. Yeah. There's still life in here yet,
That's right. So you still don't want to mess with
Like Jake,
Hacksaw.
every time I see Jake, I go up and I take his pulse.
Jake, you still with us, pal?
Yeah, there's a bad joke there, but I know. I'll see Jake this weekend when we're in Gonzales, Louisiana.
Yes.
For Cajun Con, man. Of course, Louisiana, that was Mid-South. So they got DiBiase's, I think, is going to be down there. It should be a lot of fun.
A lot of big names down there. It is Gonzales, Louisiana for Cajun Con. Jim's been posting about it on social media. So is Ted and Jake. But just go to CajunCon.com. You can find all the information. If you live in Louisiana or the surrounding area, I mean, Hacksaw Jim Duggan down there in Mid-South Country again. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's right there between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. So we're flying into New Orleans. Woo, boy, that was a party town. New Orleans. I mean,
you gonna hit Bourbon Street while you're there?
Maybe not nowadays, brother.
I knew better.
Back in the day, me and the Freebirds and Deborah, she was like a den mother. She'd take one of us out to the car, stay here, go out, get another one, brings out, stay here, go to get the third one. The other one would take off.
Wandering.
She was like a den mother trying to herd cats. She did a good job, man. The Birds and Dr. Death Steve Williams. And that was before cops had body cams and dash cams, so they would cut you a break.
Oh, nice.
Get the hell out of here, instead of put your hands up against the wall.
Man,
that's what I heard anyway. I don't know by experience.
It never happened to Hacksaw, of course. Man, thank God for
something new. It'd have to be leprosy. I think I've seen everything else. I haven't seen that leprosy yet, but.
Well, look, if you cannot get out to see Jim there in Louisiana, we talk about it all the time, and Jim just posted a great photo on his social media. Check him out on social of him chopping the boards. He's getting ready.
Sawing the wood, not chopping, brother.
Sawing the wood.
Right terminology here, kid.
That's right. Got to get it right, pal. Hacksaw is out there sawing for hacksawjimdugganshop.com. He's got those signed 2x4s up there and ready for you. And Jim, you added a bunch of other stuff there too.
Yeah. And a bunch of I did a deal for cameos in just this 2 days, these past couple of days, thanks to you posting that stuff for me, Marcus.
Yeah, man.
I've got a lot of orders, on the 2x4, because I told folks I'll probably be cutting down on my live appearances. So, the 2x4s and the cameos, it is a unique way to, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, Bobby.
I mean, talk about a cool Christmas card for somebody.
Yeah. And I do the tone down one for the kids, you play your audience, but it's something different than a Christmas card.
Well, cameos right here.
Fun, yeah. And I do them, I do 2.5, 3 minutes. Some guys are like, Merry Christmas.
You get your money's worth with Hacksaw.
And, I hope so. I have fun. That's why I have fun at the Comic Cons, man. The guy working the table at the last Comic Con, he goes, "You're really nice to the people."
You must have really.
I'm like, I don't know who you're used to working with, Jake.
No, Jake.
No, Jake's good. Jake's good. Yeah. Sometimes these movie star types are a little bit full of themselves, but
I've definitely heard that. But no, it's a once in a lifetime experience.
Most of those guys are kind of short, so I'm like, stand up when you're talking to me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, so again, if you can't get out to meet Jim, right here is the QR code for Cameo. Get a cameo from Jim above Jim's head. He's got the QR code for Hacksaw Jim Duggan Shop. So, man, just because Jim is going to be slowing things down in 2026 doesn't mean you still can't get an autograph or a personal experience with Hacksaw. So, go take advantage, and we're going to take advantage today.
Shows. We're not knocking off totally,
Just reduced.
Yeah.
So
I'll be 72 on the 14th of January, and so Flair, he still calls me kid. I'm a young guy compared to Flair, and Jake says he's younger, but I want to see a birth certificate.
You better prove it, Jake.
and Ted, he's like 3 days younger.
Yeah, you guys are really close with your birthday.
Yeah, not that he ever rubs it in, but
no, of course. Well, we're gonna have some fun this week, man. We are doing the Hacksaw Mailbag. It's our final Hacksaw Hour of the year, and we're giving it over to the fans. They asked a bunch of questions, and we're gonna get into them. Jim, you ready to do this thing?
Yeah, look forward to it. I love talking to the fans.
We got a fun one in store. The first question is an interesting one from Joseph D. He asks, when you buy gloves, do you have to special order them, or are you able to find ones that are big enough at the store? I'm not being a smart ass. I just noticed you got some big mitts on you.
Yeah, that's a good question, and you're right. I do have to special order gloves. I got, after Andre, it's all relative. But yeah, it's 3 or 4X gloves. You can't just walk into like a Tractor Supply or a Lowe's and buy gloves. I have to order them. I got a 20 size 20 ring. So
Wow.
puts in perspective, yeah.
Now, Jim, you're
But
a big guy.
like I said, after Andre, I mean that's kid stuff.
You're a big guy
It's
in
all
general.
depends who you stand next to. You stand next to Rey Mysterio, or you stand next to the Big Show.
As a big guy in general, Jim, did you find it hard back in the day to like just find shit to wear around?
Yeah. Because I used to do. Deborah and I would do the NFL players conventions. They had some great, not like wrestling conventions where everybody's out there selling their pictures and stuff. The NFL conventions, they have, shrimp cocktails and caviar and all this stuff. But we're sitting at a balcony somewhere, and everybody that walked by pretty much was the same wardrobe, big and tall. Everybody shopped at Big and Tall. That was the only place to buy big men stuff back in the day, was at Big and Tall. And they had a catalog. And everybody had, every third guy had the same shirt.
Now, at your largest, what was your t-shirt size?
My heaviest was 312.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was, probably, but I was sloppy at 312. That's when I started to wear the blue singlet, man. My belly was big, but that's when I had that 505 bench too. I was strong at 312. I was worried more about strength than appearance, and that's a bad idea in our business. More to worry about the body than the strength, but everybody was pushing heavy iron. I was one of the guys that was pushing heavy stuff. And for me, size equals strength.
And pretty cool to be able to say that you were able to put up that amount of weight on a bench press, man. That's
Yeah, and competition too. Yeah, we were in Magnum TA was with me. Of course, I owned a gym. That was before I owned a gym, though. When I was younger, much younger too.
Now, Jim, what size dumbbells were you using when you would just do curls? I'm curious, what was the biggest?
As I got older and figured out, as paying attention to guys like Sting and people that would, know what they were doing, I would do the lower weights and higher reps. And plus, I would be easier on my joints and stuff. So I would do high reps. And plus, it would help burn calories. And I'd sweat like a pig. It was embarrassing, man. It'd be like a puddle of sweat. Some girl next to me is like, "Oh, Jesus. You want to use this bike?" No.
Now, what about your maximum deadlift? I'm curious. What was your best?
Yeah, I don't remember all that stuff, brother. I just remember the 505 because it was in competition. Magnum was with me, and I was wrestling. When I was in college, is when funny, we were just at homecoming. I think I talked to you since homecoming, SMU homecoming. I went back. Yeah, my buddy Cowart, he almost was the athletic director there, and he's showing me this beautiful new facility. And he's like, "Yeah, Duggan was strong. He had like an 800-pound deadlift." The guy looks at me. I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to deny it." I don't think it was nothing like that. But I've always been pretty strong throughout. That's why I won the New York State Wrestling Championship. Have you ever watched that on YouTube?
Yep.
The kid that I wrestled, he actually won the Pan Am Games.
That's crazy.
He was a very good wrestler. He was shooting takedowns and shit. But at the end, I got behind him, and I was a point ahead. All he had to do was get away, and he would have won. But boom, I had them
Hacksaw
hooked. My mom and dad said that was the longest minute in our lives. God bless my folks, man. They came out there, and I'm from Jim Duggan from Glens Falls, New York, and I'm wrestling this kid from Buffalo, big high school. I'm farm boy Duggan. Yeah, it was a 3-day tournament, and more I won, more people from Glens Falls came out. It was 1973. It was a big deal.
That's incredible, man. And it
Yeah.
makes me wonder, I know that your focus was football, obviously, when you went to college. Do you think, Jim, that if you had pursued wrestling, that you could have competed in like the Pan Am Games or something like that as a wrestler?
No, I wasn't that good of a wrestler. No, it's like people now say, Hacksaw, what was your favorite move? I said, I kick and punch. What are you talking about? I carry a 2x4? What's my favorite move? Talk to Bret and Sean about favorite moves. Talk to me and Brody and Doc about winning the fight.
Well, next up we've got Trevor, who asks, with John Cena getting ready to retire, he retires in 10 days as we're recording this, Jim. I want to ask what you thought of him as the top act in WWE, and did you spend much time around him?
Not much time around him. I know his dad pretty well, though I worked with his dad quite a bit up there in the New England area. But the few times I've been around John, he was nothing but a gentleman. I mean, I have 3 older sisters. I brought one of my sisters to the show one time, and Cena came over and introduced himself.
And
I mean, it's John Cena. You don't have to introduce yourself, but that was very polite. And then I think I told you we were in like a battle royal somewhere, and I'm going around the old timer, in the ring, bing, and Cena's there, and I go to punch Cena in Crime Time, Big Shad. Remember Shad? God bless him.
yeah, great man.
A true hero. Anyway, I got along good with Big Shad. He blasts me in the back. So it drives me forward about 3 inches. I hit Cena. It's like, I'm like, oh, shit.
It's not the guy you want to do it to.
Not the guy who want a potato real bad, But we got back to the dressing room. He was cool about that. And, of course, everybody knows the charity work he does. So, yeah, I got nothing bad to say about it. The little bit I've been around the guy, he seemed like a pretty good guy.
Now, Jim, it's an interesting question because it's like, again, it's all about perspective and stuff. But I'm just curious, would you consider John among the greatest wrestlers of all time? I know that some people do.
Well, you almost got to do it generational. I mean, it's like after they were saying, there will never, ever be another Bruno Sammartino. Well, there'll never, ever be another Hulk Hogan. Well, there'll never, ever be another Stone Cold. Well, there'll never, ever be another Rock. There'll never, ever be a John. I mean, the business is bigger than any one guy.
Yep.
But there's a top level of guys, and he is definitely part of that top level. I tell folks, you got to know where you are on the totem pole. Some guys think you're way up high on the totem pole. You're not up that high, brother.
He's certainly up there. And look, if the name of the game is making money, which it is, I don't know if anybody's made more money than John Cena in professional wrestling.
He was a great marquee guy. It'd be hard to say who was better. I mean, obviously, I like Hogan Flair. And I worked with those guys. I mean, quite a bit. But I'm not a big fan of Stone Cold, but I appreciate the work he did. The Rock, I worked with The Rock's grandfather. I worked with The Rock's father, and I still may get The Rock, brother. Where's my 2x4?
It's not too late, pal. It is not too late.
Oh, I hamstring getting in the ring. I was at an Indy, and they're like, Hacksaw, will you get in the ring and welcome the people? I said, I'll stand out ringside.
I don't know that we got
There's no railings on no stairs.
We didn't get to talk about that. Hacksaw Jim Duggan did an appearance with GCW, Game Changer Wrestling. They're really on the rise, and there you were out there for a little angle, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, the young guy came out, and I used my standard line, stand up when you're talking to me, because it didn't put a little bass in your voice there, son. You're a really old man. Yeah. But they had a great house, man. They had a good show. They had some good talent there. I tell folks, if you've never been to an indie show, They're so much fun. You sit closer to the ring. You don't have to pay a fortune. You look at the guys, they're working, they're busting their butt, putting on a good show. And you try to figure who may move up in the ranks.
Yep. And you
Yeah,
just never know who
Indies
is
are
coming.
fun, and they bring in an old timer or two to round out the show every once in a while. It's a good time.
You know, GCW, a lot of fans kind of know them to be like almost like a deathmatch promotion, and that's not to belittle them at all, but that's kind of what they're known as. They do like a lot of really violent gimmick matches. So I don't think it was on anybody's bingo card to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan come out there
Yeah,
with
that
GCW.
was it. Of course, no, back in the day, me and Buzz Sawyer in those dog collar matches, they
Yes.
were as vicious as any match there was, because that was a 98% shoot with me and Sawyer. I mean, that was, before having to wrap shit in barbed wire and throw down thumbtacks. That was just two men going at it.
Brawling.
They knew what they were doing.
And by the way, that was 40 years ago right now, this month. You and Buzz Sawyer out there throwing down 1985. So folks, go out of your way to watch it. Those are considered some of the greatest dog collar matches of all time. I don't know if you knew that, Jim, but they're on like top 5 lists of
Oh, man. Yeah, I watched some. I saw a highlight of it where Bing and Boom, I'm beating up Buzz, and he took the collar off and put it on the top rope, and I didn't know it, right? And then so I go running off and it's a hell of a bump, man. I'm like, holy shit.
It's great stuff, guys. Go out of your way to check it out. And by the way, Jim and I talked about it on an early episode of the Hacksaw Hour, so go back into the archives and find that. David Ray Kubelin, I think is how you say it. He asks, what is your favorite gimmick or character that you've seen a wrestler use? Any of them stick out to you as particularly good or entertaining?
I like the one with the guy that carries a big piece of lumber and yells, "Ho!"
Is that Bushwhacker Luke?
No, there's been some good gimmicks out there, but the best gimmicks are just an extension of a personality. I mean, you look at over-the-top gimmicks. I like the Red Rooster. Kamala. I enjoyed Kamala because Kamala was one of the last of the wrestlers that would scare kids. Yep. They play that music, and he'd have that mask, big walla. He'd come down in the ring. The kids would run away from the walkway. Now, no matter who the heel is, the kids all run to him. Hey, they're not afraid of him. Yep. Kamala, I was kind of afraid of him too. But he scared a lot of kids. But the best gimmicks, Ric Flair, because Ric Flair is Ric Flair. Jake the Snake. Jake is Jake. Teddy is Ted. Hacksaw. That's who I am. It's just an extension of your own personality.
Turned up to 11, as they say.
It's I wasn't going to be handsome Jimmy Duggan, so
I don't see why.
But I did try Big Jim Duggan, the Convict, Wild Man Duggan. So I tell young guys, feel free to try out different gimmicks. You're not stuck with one gimmick, and your gimmick is very, very important. Everybody can work. Everybody can take a backdrop, unless you're, Ron Van Dam or one of those guys who do some bizarre stuff. But your gimmick is what's going to stick out.
Very good advice. If there's indie wrestlers, and I know that there are indie wrestlers that listen to this, take that advice to heart. It's really important to have a strong gimmick. Greg Judkins asks, what did you think of Jacques Rougeau? Just overall thoughts on Jacques.
I got along okay with Jacques. Actually, I'm doing a show with him later this year, next year.
Cool.
Up there in Montreal. I guess he's a mayor or something up there. But I got along okay with Jacques. We didn't run together. We didn't travel together. But, that was the whole Bulldog scandal with Jacques. But I understood Jacques' side of it. Every day, Davey Dynamite, which one was it?
It was Dynamite.
Dynamite would come in and boom, slap him in the head and mess with him, push him around, and he couldn't take him straight up. He couldn't take him straight on. So he ambushed him.
Did what he had to do, really.
Yeah, what else? You got guys messing with you every day. You can't take him straight on. So he was coming down the hallway with 2 cups of coffee. Rougeau had the roll of quarters in his hand. Boom! Knocked his teeth out. Changed his life. But But I can understand. I mean, I don't know what I would do if somebody kept messing with me every day, every day. That's the old joke. Go ahead and get your bag out of the trunk. Oops, boom, boom, boom. That was reverse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jim, it's interesting because I know that you're a guy. If somebody pisses you off and you want to fight him, you would just face him and fight him. Here in this circumstance, Jacques knew that he wasn't going to win the fight, so it was a sucker punch, is what it
Yeah, it
was.
was definitely a sucker punch. He suckered the hell out of him.
Yeah,
he
so
really
I
did.
mean, I kind of respect the fact that he's going to stand up and do something about it, but I don't know, maybe just not the right way to do it.
I don't know if there's a way to do that. You're up there. You play. Look at Brody. Could have been worse. He could have got stabbed to death. I mean,
Yes.
there's stories in the old days about they put cigarette lighting fluid in the guy's breather thing.
Oh, geez.
And the guy went out, got a shotgun, and blew up everybody's bags in the dressing room. I mean, wrestling folklore. But yeah, if you're playing with fire, if you're doing stuff like that, that's why I didn't rib. I didn't like to be ribbed. You don't screw with people.
You never know
If
what
you do, and shit happens. Shit happens. Yeah, I don't agree that was the way to do it, but I don't disagree that he had to do something. And what's in between those two parameters?
Yeah, not. It's hard to say unless you're kind of stuck in that position like he was. A guy like you, if you had an issue with Dynamite, there's a strong chance that you would beat his ass if you got into a fight with him.
Yeah, but if there was somebody I couldn't beat his ass, I would hit him with my 2x4. You bet your ass.
Yep.
Somebody's beating me up every day. I'd sit behind the doorway waiting for him to come in. I'd whack his ass with my 2x4, and I'd get a little more too.
Absolutely. So
this is the big leagues, brother. This is the big leagues, especially my generation. It was the Wild West back then. We carried guns.
Mm-hmm.
It was not pay. It's not sports entertainment. You think it's fake? You come up in the ring with us, and we'll show you if it's fake or not. So when you went out to a bar, you had trouble in a bar. You had trouble in a bar. So our generation of guys was a little different. And Rougeau was part of that generation. He was second generation.
Mm-hmm.
In Montreal, which was even worse. So, yeah, I mean, they were playing with fire, the Bulldogs, and they were bullies. They picked on a lot of people.
I've heard they had some really stiff ribs. Jake has said that they would take lit cigarettes and throw it into the snake bag. It's like you're not even fucking with Jake at that point. You're messing with his snake.
Right. Oh, and they burn holes in women's dresses at bars. Just think it's a big rib with their cigarette, and they were just not good people. No.
Now, Greg follows that question up with, I thought his work, being Jacques Rougeau, as the Mountie...
Yeah, I hope I don't get a coffee thrown on me now. Holy shit.
Yeah, you're going to piss somebody off. He follows it up with, I thought his work as the Mountie was some of his best stuff. Did you like the character? What do you think of
Yeah, I enjoyed the Mountie. We did Wembley Stadium, man. Yeah. It was me and the Whackers against the Mountie and the Nasty Boys. And we were the opening match of Wembley. 90,000 people. Wembley's jam-packed, sold out. Everybody's coming up. Hey, you guys are opening up the show. You got to kick it off. Get them going, baby. Get them going. Yeah, the heels go out there. Me and the Whackers go out there. Butch goes over to one corner. Yo! Luke goes out to the other corner. Yay! I went to the third quarter. Went, ho! We did 10 minutes. We didn't touch. That place was going, yo, yay, ho! It was rocking. Everybody else was out there pounding meat, like it's pro wrestling.
That's it. And a lot of the guys
you can't have a whole show of that, but that was but may have been McMahon genius. Hey, put that kind of match out there and get them all fired up. They got everybody up and excited.
It certainly worked. And yeah, it was cool that you got to work with the Mountie there and you guys got the win. And, it's an iconic event, really something the fans to look back at.
Yeah. Today. We're watching the old TV series 24.
Yeah.
And they just did a thing at Wembley Stadium. And I'm like,
oh, Hacksaw's been
Wembley. There. And then we did Royal Albert Hall, when people are like, especially back in the snooty days, when the wrestling first goes over to England, we're doing Royal Albert Hall. The ballet people were not happy with us.
I don't imagine. Joshua Shepard is up next, and he's got a question that has been the hot topic in wrestling recently. Now, there could be some controversy here, Jim, so I will edit this out if it's something you don't want to discuss. But
That's okay.
everybody online has been talking about this. Josh asks, do you believe what Bret Hart said was true about Vince and HBK? Jim, did you hear any of this?
No.
Okay, it's been all over social media. Bret Hart did an interview recently where
Oh,
he
we're
claimed,
okay. Yes, they were lovers.
yes, that Vince and HBK were lovers, and then he said that he believes that the Ultimate Warrior and Vince were lovers as well.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, Pat Patterson was married to Louis. I mean, guys like, yeah, I could see McMahon. He was a control freak. He can control these guys. I think those guys would do anything to get ahead at that period in their careers. And it may have been mutual. It probably had to be mutual, I would think. So hey, guys like that, they're probably in so much of the other. Like, well, let's see what's on this side of the fence, maybe.
That's the first time I've heard it put that way. I've heard a lot of people's takes on it. That's a fresh take from Jim
Well,
Duggan.
Sean and Marty, they used to have them lined up in the hallway. I mean, we'd be at the hotel, and there'd be 4 or 5 girls in the hallway outside of their room. It was me and Doc. We're looking for the overflow.
The weak and wounded.
Yeah, is that Mace? Whoa. Hi, I'm Jim.
See, you could add the pretty boy Duggan gimmick.
Oh yeah. Thank goodness all women aren't into the pretty boy. Deborah, all the pretty boys walk by. I ain't worried at all. Doc and Gordy walked in. I'm like, Deborah, come here.
Stay away from those guys.
Get away from the big hairy guys, man.
Next we got Paul Ness. I don't know. But Paul asks,
Hey, Paul.
did you ever wrestle Adrian Adonis? And what were your thoughts on him?
I think I may have answered him. He might have sent me a question. I answered some on my media, but no, I never wrestled Adrian. Never. He was always in the WW, and by the time I came up, I think he had already passed up there in Newfoundland. That's a famous corner he was killed on. Every time, again, no matter if you wrestle up there, every time you go, that's where Adrian Adonis was killed. I'm like, thanks for pointing that out, brother.
Let's slow down a little bit around.
And usually, it's some guy doing the indies, his car is 20 years old, the wheels are like, am I scaring you, Hacksaw?
Now, did you? What did you think of his work? What did you think of his gimmick, which was pretty cutting edge at the time?
Yeah, well, we had Adrian Street down there in Mid-South, so that wasn't a big stretch. Adrian Adonis, Adrian Street. So, but there's room for everything. I think Adrian, it worked. Especially him being big and heavy and Adrian Street, at least, had a body and stuff. Relatively.
Yeah, I think
I saw nothing wrong with it. It worked, dude. He did good business.
He got a ton of heat. Yeah.
Oh, he got a lot of heat. He did good business. And that's how you got to judge people. Like, people are like, well, Hacksaw, you were never world champion. And I'm like, you know what I think about that, being world's champion? This is what I think about that right here.
What a run-in. Hey, Deborah.
Hi.
Hi, here.
Everybody.
Merry
this is
Christmas.
Ginger.
Hello, Ginger. So want to say hello to everybody?
Oh, man. Ginger. A run-in from Ginger and Deborah Duggan.
I got a chicken attack.
Thank you, Deborah. You don't get
what
that
we
on
having
it.
for dinner, honey?
She just handed it to you.
Are you kidding? Eat gingers. You throw me out.
You don't get that on any other podcast. A running from a chicken.
Yeah.
Only
Well,
on that.
there's a lot of chicks around, but I'll tell you.
And actually, the next question is perfectly timed. It's by Thomas Strom, who asks, how did you and your wife meet?
Jay Youngblood introduced us.
No way.
Yeah. Jay came to Mid-South, and me and Doc were living together, and he was riding with him. We didn't like him because he was a pretty boy, but Bill Watts made us drive him around, and we got to know him. He turned out okay, and he's like, Doug, I know the perfect girl for you. He says, and I'm like, yeah. I swear to God, this good woman's perfect for you. And he gave me her number, and I just stuffed the number somewhere, and then. One day I was at home and I gave her a call and we headed off and we talked. I said, hey, would you like to come to Louisiana? She lived in Charlotte and she was working in Charlotte. So I flew her into, I'd never seen a picture of her. Had no idea what she looked like. So I flew her into Louisiana. This lady got off the plane. I ran up and gave her a big kiss. She slapped me. She had no idea who she was. Deborah was still Deborah, what the hell are you talking about?
Got away with the free kiss, though. Can't beat that.
Yeah, Deborah got up, boom, and I ended up flying her back and forth, and I was living with Doc, and I joke every time I flew her in, she brought some more stuff. But we lived together for 5 years. Because back then I was a different guy. I mean, I carried a gun, I drank whiskey, I got in fights all the time. With the strip joints, crazy, wild biker type life. I mean, you ever see that TV show Animal Kingdom? I mean, it was anything go. You're around all kinds of people. Go to biker bars, and Deborah slowly pulled me back from the dark side, man. And now here I am at Christmas time, going Merry, Merry Christmas.
Pretty different.
What the hell happened? She saved my life. She saved my life. Both Doc and Gordy are gone. But I was because I lived with both of those guys. I lived with Gordy in Georgia Championship Wrestling, and then I lived with Doc in Mid-South. And then those guys went over to Japan, and they became best friends. So the three of us were all best friends, man. It was a good group,
man. And you met Deborah through Jay Youngblood, and it makes me wonder, Jim, you were a star at this point with Mid-South Wrestling. Was Deborah familiar with who you were when you started contacting her? Not
really. I don't think so. No. Yeah. That's what she said. She got off the plane, and I was a pretty big star locally. So all the people, she figured out who I was. I was a big guy. I was probably 280 back then, 6'3", and all the people around me. So she knew who I was. Yeah, and I like tall, blonde-haired women, man. I always have, with high heels. That's young boys like, I know just the girl.
Man, what a cool story. Introduced to your wife by Jay Youngblood, and all these years later.
And Jay passed away over in Australia, and I never knew we got married. He passed long before we were married. Man. Never knew how it worked out, but Jay Youngblood.
I've heard he was a good man.
Me and Doc didn't like him because all the girls liked him,
That's a good reason to have heat with the boys.
We didn't like him.
Next up,
but it worked out. It worked at almost 42 years together now, man.
Awesome, man.
Thick and thin. She was there in the thin days too, man, when things looked bleak, during the Iron Sheik days, and just through some injuries. Through the good and bad, she's been there.
A good woman. Next up is Wayne Kirk, who says, I've been watching old Mid-South on YouTube and saw that you wrestled Ric Flair for the NWA World title back in 1985, 40 years ago, Jim.
Oh, my God.
I got to throw that in there. It was 40 years ago in 1985.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, Mark. Look forward to seeing you.
What did you, he wants to know, what did you think of working with the Nature Boy?
Kind of like working with Andre. An honor to be in the ring with Flair. Of course, back then, I think I was champion, or at least I was up over enough where I couldn't get beat. Mm-hmm. Flair was world champion, so he couldn't get beat. So that meant we had to go 1 hour time limit draws.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Flair did that every night. Flair was a machine. I don't know. I had no idea how he did that. I mean, because every territory he'd go to, he couldn't beat their top guy. They couldn't beat him so they'd go the 1 hour time limit draw. And I was out there, people like, Hacksaw, that's a beautiful red tie you have on. I said, that's not a tie. That's my tongue hanging down on my knees, sucking wind with Flair. Flair's a machine out there. And of course, our two styles don't really match up, but he worked with guys like Brody and stuff. So we had some good matches. I get along good to this day. I get along good with Rick.
When you said since you were a champion or a big star, and he's obviously the NWA champion, it wouldn't be just a finish. In my head, I was like, oh, okay, it'll be a DQ. I didn't expect to hear that you were doing 1 hour Broadways with him. That is a hell of a feat.
I wish it was a DQ. That's why I like it. I wish people go, you guys use blood capsules, don't you?
Oh,
I'm like, I wish it was a blood capsule. Holy shit. Did you ever do the trick about this big, he should blood capsule my ass.
Did you ever do the trick with the balloon where you fill it with blood and
bite it? Balloon my butt, brother. Are you kidding? They got a rubber.
That's right.
They took the blood out of my arm, put it in the rubber. We bumped the referee. That second ref came, gave me the rubber. I slipped it in my mouth. Nikolai Volkov hooked me. Crusher Khrushchev, Barry Darsow, boom, hit me in the throat. I bit that rubber. Blood went everywhere, man. It was, oh God, it was a crazy angle. But imagine that, hey, today we're going to take some blood out of your arm. And
only in wrestling.
Oh my gosh. And those crowds back then, like I said, they believed it. So Barry and Nikolai, they had trouble getting back to the, you have a wrestling riot was not uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have heel stay to the end. It's a hot finish. Imagine saying that nowadays. Heel stay to the end. It's a hot finish. We might have to go out and fight the fans. Is pretty much what they're saying.
Yep.
It's a hot finish tonight. So stick around, everybody.
It's really a bygone era in wrestling. You're right. It doesn't happen anymore.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, everything changes, and wrestling has definitely evolved, and it evolved from the carnival atmosphere to my generation, which was the great generation, because we saw it go from high school gyms and National Guard armories to Wembley Stadium and the Silverdome. One weekend I'm in the Thibodeau National Guard Army, and next night I'm in the Silverdome. What the hell?
Man, really wild. And by the way, folks, that clip of Jim getting punched is online, where he sprays the blood out of his mouth. Apparently, it was so obscene though that Bill Watts cut it out on the TV.
I know they cut it back then. Yeah.
Yes. So the lead up to it and the punch is there, but you don't see Jim spraying blood because apparently it was a real.
Oh scene. Wow! Yeah, I knew they cut it back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was bad. It was a lot of blood, man. It went everywhere.
Wayne did follow up
television.
Wayne did follow up his question about Rick by saying, what did it mean to you to challenge for the NWA World Championship? A lot of guys say that it's a mark thing to care about belts, and I get that. But I mean, it's the NWA, it's the 10 pounds of gold. It's a really prestigious title. Was it something special for you to challenge for that belt?
Not really challenge for the belt as much work with Ric Flair.
Okay.
It wouldn't have made a difference if Flair was world champion or not, because I'm definitely not world champion material. You got to have that marquee type guy: Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Nick Bockwinkel, Cena, marquee type guy. Yeah, I knew my role.
Not to mention the crazy road schedule if you're the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, because you're going to all the territories and working with everybody. Like, these guys are on the road constantly. The belt.
Yeah, that generation: Dusty, Harley, Rick, those guys. That was even a little wilder than my generation. Yeah, that's where we learned to carry guns from Harley. Harley come in, he'd have double shoulder holster on. Who am I working with? I hope not me. Holy shit!
You'd be carrying cash, right? You kind of had to have weapons on you, didn't you?
Oh man, yeah. But who never got hit? Arnie Skolin.
Really?
payoff guy in the WWF, and he would carry one of those Halliburton briefcases, and there'd be tens of thousands of dollars in there. And I know, the bad guys had to know about that,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes you wonder about WWF. Nobody hit him.
It was pretty
Yeah,
connected back in the day, I'm sure.
yeah. It makes you wonder because he would walk around anywhere in downtown New Jersey with that Halliburton with tens of thousands because he'd pay off in cash at night.
Either Vince Sr. was connected or Arnie was, one or the
Yeah,
other.
I think it might have been the old man, tell you the truth. Hardy was a hell of a guy. Kind of like when Vince was giving away remember he'd give away $1 million a show?
Yeah,
They'd bring the $1 million to the show.
it's crazy.
So all these gangs, all these bad guys would say, well, $1 million, it's right there,
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have some serious people watching. They'd be guarding the money backstage, Hey guys, how's it going?
Hacksaw's walking by.
It's wood. Yeah. Don't joke with the security people.
Next up, we've got Opie, who asks, who did you face in your last ever wrestling match? Jim, do you remember who you wrestled in your last one?
No.
Probably just some indie guy, right?
I was doing indie. Oh, I tell you, I think I do. I know who my tag team partners was Ricky and Robert.
Oh man, that's a cool way to end your career.
Yeah, we did. It was no big blow off or nothing. It was just was an indie show up in Virginia, and it was a 6-man tag. And actually, it was on my way home. I noticed that's when I started to have heart problems. And I got home, and Deborah took me to the doctor the next day, and they put me in the ICU. And that was my last actual wrestling match. But
that was a wrap.
Yeah, it wasn't. It would have been nice to have one of those big send-offs like Rotunda or those guys have, in Japan, the streamers and the roses. And they're like, yeah, hey, thanks, Hacksaw. See you later.
Well, Opie followed it up with, if you had your choice, what would your last match have been? Money aside, Jim, obviously everybody said was going to say.
Yeah, DiBiase, Teddy.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy working with Ted. I learned a lot from Ted. Like I said before, second generation guys were just that much more polished. I wrestled. That's where I learned Mid-South, coming Rat Pack, wrestling DiBiase. I learned an awful lot wrestling Ted. We have good matches. Yeah, and that's why I was kind of glad he put me in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a good
like
choice.
I said, Ted DiBiase may be one of the greatest technical wrestlers in the sport, but he can't fight a lick. And when you're in the ring with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, it's a fight, tough guy. Oh, chicken.
Oh, not the chicken. Jim, we'll do a couple more, and we're gonna wrap this one up. The guy whose name is Pause, and there's a bunch of numbers after it, asks, what did you think of Virgil? We lost Virgil not that long ago.
Yeah, I got along okay with Verge too, man. Very few guys I didn't get along with. Verge, one time though, we did a spot where I chased DiBiase around the ring. Right, Teddy jumps in the ring, goes across, goes out the other side. I come in the ring, Virgil, boom, he cuts me off right as I come across. I chase Ted around the ring. He goes in. I come in the ring. As I come in, boom! It's like the building fell on me. I mean, Virgil almost knocks me out. Like, so the match is over. As soon as I go through the curtain, man, I'm a bitch. Jesus, Mary, and Joe, what the hell? DiBiase goes, hey, wait a minute, Duggan. It wasn't that long ago. You were doing that to me. I'm like, yeah, right, I guess you're right, Ted. Yeah. But, yeah, and then it was always fun driving around behind Virgil and Ted. We'd ride behind them there. They'd have that big rented Lincoln that Vince would take care of Teddy with. And there'd be Virgil's head, and then there'd be Ted's head. It was like this.
Yeah, that giant head
driving down the road. One big head, one little head. You wouldn't have to know who was driving the car. That Teddy and Verge.
Ted,
He's behind him, you know.
Ted says when he sees that Funko Pop of him, he's like, "Well, they finally got my head size right, at least."
That was before the push.
Last one, and we're wrapping this one up. It's from Kid Lodi, who asks, "Did you ever go out drinking with Andre? Seems like everybody's got a story, including Ozzy Osbourne."
Yeah, I got along great with Andre. I mean, I got along with Arnie, and Arnie and Andre were very, very tight. And Tim White, Sparky, that was his name. Tim White was Sparky. I got along great with Timmy, and I did a out with Andre a bunch. Even as Big Jim Duggan in the WWF, he took a bunch of us jabroni boys to dinner one time, and
Oh wow!
taught us. But yeah, there's a million Andre stories.
Did you drink with him on these occasions?
Yes, but not challenge him in any way.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be smart about that. You don't go in there, hey Andre, let's have a drink. Come on, I was very timid even back in the day. I'm like, oh yeah, and then I wouldn't just sit there and drink either. I'd always mess around, but. Yeah, Andre just sitting there drinking. I couldn't tell a good drinking story, except obviously, like drinking the whole everything on the airplane, drinking that dry. That's drinking huge amount. But the guy was a giant. Plus, he was French. He started drinking young. I remember in his hometown, I wrestled him in Grenoble, France, over in France, and I went out drinking with him. And he got this, whatever it was, like a pear in the bottle or some horrible tasting stuff. So I drink it. So the next day, we're in beautiful Grenoble, the Alps and snow-covered Alps and everything. And there's a car parked in front of the bus, and the boys are loading up on the bus. And I bent over the car. Oh, wow.
What did Andre say to you?
Yeah, the people are standing there looking at me like, "Oh my God, American! That's an American."
All this beautiful scenery, and there's Hacksaw.
Yeah. And I really love this place. Yeah, but Andre was noted for his drinking, but I never challenged him and tried to get drunk with him. I did have the after effects, though.
Well, we're not going to beat that story, Jim. That's going to wrap us up on the Hacksaw Hour. Man, I want to thank you for joining me. This is our Christmas edition, and Jim, I'm very thankful.
Hello!
That's right. Very thankful for you and Deborah. It's been a lot of fun getting to do this stuff with you, and looking forward to more in 2026.
Looking forward to a new year, Mark. It's always fun working with you, my friend. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next year, tough guy. Let's do one, Marcus. Here we go, baby. Ho! Ho, ho.